Oculus is seriously wasting their time with stupid research that no one is ever gonna need. We also have some major updates regarding PlayStation's next VR headset. We also have a ton of game updates coming to existing games and a really cool new game coming out this week. All of that, but first, VR power batteries let you play in VR literally all day, and with the new white battery, you can do it in style. The battery provides a counterweight to your Quest and can even function to prevent you from overcharging the headset. Get it at the link below. It is literally one of the best purchases I've ever made for my headset. Starting off this video with the obligatory Oculus news, the Oculus Quest 2 now accounts for a third of total VR headsets using SteamVR. That's just the Oculus Quest 2, that's not even the original Quest or any other Oculus headsets. Overall, Steam users with a VR headset grew just slightly, combating the narrative all of last week that PCVR was dead, which is honestly just dumb. That whole conversation was dumb from the beginning. I mean, come on, Steam users that use VR headsets dropped slightly, so now we're all scared that PCVR is dead. Maybe as graphics cards became more available, there were just more Steam users overall. A reduction in the percentage of VR users doesn't mean that there were less VR users, just a larger pool of data to get the numbers from. Of course, I can't actually confirm this, but I just never understood the whole conversation from the beginning about PCVR being dead. PCVR will always exist as a better form of VR for the PC master race. End of discussion. In other stupid Oculus news, I guess Oculus is wasting their time researching a new headset where you can see who's inside the headset. Not only is this creepy, but it's probably the stupidest thing I have ever seen. Not once have I seen someone using a VR headset and wondered who it was. Is this really what Oculus is spending their money on? Like, seriously? This is what a huge number of employees at Facebook is working on? Like, you gotta be joking. The Oculus Quest 2 Pro or Quest 3 better be good, because this is just a ridiculous waste of research. Some of the biggest news last week comes in the form of an Oculus Quest competitor. Now, I'm not talking about some cheapo Chinese knockoff that you'll never see. This competitor could very well be coming from Valve themselves. Now, I've been very vocal about the fact that the Steam Deck will not be able to handle modern PC VR games. Even Guy Godin, the developer of Virtual Desktop, is very skeptical of this. But according to a report from Verge, Greg Coomer of Valve basically just said that VR is very relevant to the new Steam Deck's plans. They said, "We're not ready to say anything about it, but it would run well in that environment with the TDP necessary. It's very relevant to us and our future plans." This was in response to it being used for a standalone VR headset. This is very different from PCVR, by the way. I have no doubt that the Steam Deck would be able to run some games that are already running on Quest. I mean, they both use mobile chips, and several patents have come out hinting at a standalone Valve headset, and in the past, Gabe Newell has said that the wireless problem has been solved already. So now the only question remains, will Valve actually deliver a standalone headset, or is this just going to be another thing like Half-Life 3? In more Valve news, SteamVR just released a beta update that allows you to float desktop windows in VR. This functionality already exists for Oculus, so it's nice to see SteamVR catching up. This would be useful if you're streaming, obviously, but even if you're not, it would help to keep an eye on Discord or for working in VR if that's your thing. Hell, use it to watch some hentai while you shoot noobs in Pop 1. Nothing says alpha male more than killing people with the sound of screaming anime girls in the background, am I right? Right? Or is that just me? Valve isn't the only one with new headset news. PlayStation VR is making a ballsy move by reportedly codenaming their new device as NGVR, or in other words, Next Generation VR. Reportedly, the headset will use an HDR OLED display for the deepest and deepest of blacks, and a field of view of 110, foveated rendering, and a new technique called flexible scaling resolution to further increase the performance. The new controllers will also have sensors to not only tell you if you're touching the controllers with different fingers, but also how far away from the controller your fingers are. I don't know about you, but I'm really trying to figure out how this would be used in a game outside of just having more realistic finger movements. I mean, I'm trying to come up with a joke here. There's got to be something there. There's something. I know there is, but I mean, just imagine you'll be able to open and close your hands slowly and see it happen in VR, but I don't know. There's got to be a joke there somewhere, some funny use case for it, but I can't think of it right now. But the headset won't be announced until early next year, so we do have time to figure out a good hilarious use case for these new sensors. Vertigo Games just acquired another VR studio, Forcefield. If you're not familiar with it, Vertigo Games is the company behind Arizona Sunshine and the upcoming zombie shooter After the Fall. Forcefield, on the other hand, is lesser known for Star Trek Bridge Crew and Coaster Combat. As part of the deal, Forcefield will basically continue operations as is under the Vertigo brand, who acquired 100% shares of the company. While they obviously always encourage healthy competition, I feel like these smaller companies consolidating into bigger VR studios will end up being a net positive for us as consumers, as they'll have more power to create bigger and better games. Now, in some game news, Pistol Whip is finally releasing the Smoke and Thunder update on August 12th. If you haven't played Pistol Whip yet, it is hands down my absolute most favorite rhythm game of all time, leagues above Beat Saber or anything else, so I'll definitely be checking it out with the update. The devs are also increasing the price of the game to $29.99 from $24.99 on August 15th. So if you want to get the game, you might as well get it now before the price goes up. It is 100% worth it. Speaking of rhythm games, Ragnarok is a pretty cool looking rhythm game that focuses on using drums on a Viking ship. I'll be honest, I'm really over the ridiculous abundance of VR rhythm games, but this one has some heavier rock jams and a Viking theme, so I'm actually pretty intrigued. I'll be trying it on stream right after this video goes up, so if you want to check it out and hang out with me, see if it's worth getting, definitely come join us for that. Everslot came out of nowhere, releasing exclusively on Steam for now, which is probably why I never heard of it. But anyways, people are raging about this game, about how good it is. It's a roguelite hack and slash dungeon crawling VR immersive experience wallabaloo. If you have a PC, it might be worth checking out. Stride just released for the Oculus Quest, and it looks like they're already working on multiplayer mode for the Quest. They also have in the works a story-driven single-player mode, and honestly, this is awesome. This is probably one of my most favorite games of this year, so if you haven't checked it out, you really are missing out on this awesome parkour-style shooter. It is a blast as is, and if they add multiplayer support, oh man, this game will be insane. The multiplayer version is already in testing on PC, I just haven't been able to try it out yet, but I bet it is awesome. And then finally, we'll be getting the Walking Dead Aftershocks update. It's a new DLC that's free, comes for anyone that owns the Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. It'll be coming out on September 23rd. This is literally one of my top 3 favorite VR games of all time, so getting more content for it is better than Christmas morning. Unless, of course, Christmas is when you got your VR headset, because that's awesome, right? Anyways, I know that VR is replete with zombie games, but this is the standard for VR zombie games, and really any other type of VR game, because it is that good of a game, and it runs on Quest. If you haven't jumped into it yet, now is probably the best time to get the game and get ready for the new Aftershocks update coming in September. And then last but not least, VR is releasing for the Oculus Quest on August 12th. I'll be reviewing this game, so if you want to see my review for it this week, make sure you're subscribed. It is a highly anticipated platformer, similar to like Moss or Trover Saves the Universe, and my friend compared it to Crash Bandicoot in VR. I'm really excited for it because I really like games that I can play comfortably sitting down like this, so I will be definitely checking it out and letting you guys know how it is. Well, that's it for this video. Remember to hang around if you want to see me be streaming some Ragnarok. I'll be jumping on it pretty soon after this video posts. I also got a new GPU finally, so playing Skyrim with 476 mods is going to be so much easier. I'll definitely be streaming more of that if you want to come hang out. I also want to thank my YouTube members. You all are amazing, but that's it. I'm out.